Hi, I'm Zay.
Hi, I'm Shay.
And we are
Married with Chinchillas. It's our story time, guys. 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 So I'm gonna start the story off, okay? So the story starts. So what happened was I was having a really bad day and it was just really overwhelming. So you know what do us millennials do? We scroll. Where's my phone, babe? I can never find it. This is
That's
babe's
my
phone.
phone.
Okay, but
Give
it's
me my phone.
I'm using the phone.
Give me the phone.
So we scrolling our way on Instagram. Who's on there, do you say? My friend Lord. Our friend Lord.
Not
Hi,
that Lord, you know, the other Lord, you know.
Not Jesus, Lord.
Yes, not Jesus.
Our friend Lord is his best friend and my high school friend. And literally, I've barely seen this person since like high school. I think maybe like 2-3 times, honestly. I was like, I think he was just like made a post or something. I don't know. And I tend to comment. I'm a commenter. I like to be engaged. Anyway, so yeah, I was doing my commenting and basically he was like, yeah, let's hang out. And we all hung out as like a group of us and I had no idea it was gonna turn out to be a mini party because your girl's slightly introverted even though she has such more extroverted personality traits, but turned out to be one and it was actually really fun. Met some really dope people, ate some really good food and then I'm minding my business, needing my introverted moment that I had to take. As I am a person that you will probably find in a corner of a party. This time I was minding my business, needed some space, and like I said, I had a bad day. I'm like trying to walk out. I got a friend over here and that's what happened. I'm with my friend walking out. She's like, yeah, you're just gonna go out for a second. And I'm like, yeah. Like, I have this reaction.
Just stands at the door of the house.
And the reaction's probably like a hit.
Yeah, she hit me.
So once I invaded his personal space, because I was like, right? Like, I was like, man.
It was a tight hug, though. It was one of those, like, weird hugs, like, lingering. I don't, it was weird, but I was like,
good hugs in my family.
This is a hug right here. That hug was tight. All right, so later on this day, probably like maybe 30 to 45 minutes later.
You have the mic on?
Yes. All right, so later on at this party, as an introvert myself, I decided that I needed some, introverted time, which what I normally do is go for a late night drive. As I'm walking out, guess who's still outside having her introverted time?
It was me. I was eating Boom Chicka Pop. It was me.
Anyway, as I'm walking out, he goes sit in this person, and she asked me, where are you going? I said, hey, I'm just going for a drive. Late night drive is what I normally do. She just basically asked me if she can come, which to me was like, yeah, sure, no problem. I don't care. I'm literally just going to drive and listen to music. Mind you,
I have no idea. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
No idea why I got in a car with a stranger. Y'all don't get in cars.
Yes, we don't
with
know.
a stranger.
We don't know each other.
I just knew that like he was a friend of a friend.
We get in the car.
Because I also take drives like that, which is something that we had in common at that time. Which
something
like,
we found out about each other as
that
we were driving.
same moment. Yeah, we were like, oh, I do this all the time, and I was like, bro, I do too. Set the scene, y'all. Let me set the scene. Had to turn the light down so you can understand. It was dark in the car. His like interior lights were like red, so it was like a red night special. What time did you say it was, babe?
Yeah, it must have been like maybe about 12.
It was like 12, y'all. Yeah. And windows are down, right? Arms out of our windows. Oh yeah, sunroof up.
Smooth music playing.
Oh, perfect. Because this June, y'all, like the end of June in Maryland. So like humid, but like on a night drive, it's like perfect weather.
And mind you, at this moment, she starts acting like the pig in the commercial, the Geico commercial. Is it a Geico commercial? Anyway, she had her head out the window and her hair flowing, just going, wee, 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 wee. wee. She looked like that person.
That happened, and I got fibromyalgia, y'all. I was tired. That's my bedtime. 12. It was 12. I needed a Red Bull. That's my pick-me-up. Once again, Red Bull if you need a sponsorship. Red Bull, basically my caffeine addiction. Yeah. I was like, okay, like, if I'm also, now at this party, I need a Red Bull. Let's go. At this
point, I'm thinking, who wants a Red Bull at 12 o'clock at night? Anyway, whatever. Not my problem. She wanted a Red Bull, so we're only like 5 minutes away from the house. I was like, oh, let's stop by like a gas station or something and get a Red Bull. And would you know it, in Bethesda, Maryland, everything kind of closed at 9 o'clock, including gas station. What kind of gas station closes at 9 o'clock? I digress.
Everything was closed.
Bro, we went to like 2 or 3 gas stations.
The third one is where we found the Red Bull.
2 hours later.
Yeah. We went to a 7-Eleven that was close to my job at the time, still not very far away from the house, and I got her Red Bull
from our friend's house. Is who we're talking.
Right, which was apparently the appropriate size, which is like, would you get 20 ounce?
20 ounce. That's
20
like my ounce. That is the. If y'all want to send me a gift, 20 ounce Red Bulls.
I didn't even think about it. It was like the only one they had at the time, so I just grabbed it.
It happened to be the exact size, and I was like, "Excuse me." Oh God.
By the way, don't buy me an air horn. You will regret it.
I regret it.
Alright, so after we got this Red Bull, we were on our way back to the house, and so the car I was driving at this time, important detail, was a manual transmission car, which means, you know, I need to shift gears. And so as I'm driving, I go to shift gears, somebody decides to go and place their hand on my shift knob.
This is the thing. I definitely had a car before I met him. A month prior, I got in a car accident. I had a car prior to that where it was like I just always rested my hand there, and I had that car for like 4 or 5 years.
Wait. Your hand was a right-hand drive? You rested your left hand?
No, you know what hand I'm talking about. It was this hand, but like.
Oh, so this hand, not this hand.
I don't know why I rested this hand. Okay, look, I have a hand resting on people's knobs problem. That sounds awkward.
She likes my knob.
Oh my gosh, that's awkward. What I'm trying to say, babe, stop. What I'm trying to say is, I don't know why I put my hand there, and it was like instant, like.
It's gonna sound kind of corny, but it was instant magic. You know, butterflies and all that type of stuff. It happened. There was a connection. We both felt it. I looked in her eyes deeply, and she looked into mine. So that happened, and yeah. As we continued driving, this time with her hand staying on the knob the whole time as I am shifting.
Right on top of
in between gears, just holding my hand.
I think it's like once you put it there, now it's kind of too awkward to take it away.
Yes, so this was both strange and pleasant at the same time. Of course, you know,
we both were kind of digging it like on the low. We just didn't.
Nobody needs to. We don't need to talk about this. We don't need to talk about this. Anyway, we continued driving. You know, interesting conversation. We're right next to the house. We pulled over in the parking lot of a
giant Food Lion.
It's a grocery store. Anyway, decent conversation happening, and we didn't notice how much time had gone by.
Turned out he was a great conversationalist. Who would have thunk it?
Honestly, though, we should mention she was doing most of the conversating. I was doing more of the listening because, you know, I'm a giant ear. But, you know, I chip in every now and then.
I'm a talker. I am a talker.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. So our phone started blowing up. Yours first, and then mine.
Yeah, all of our friends from the party were like, where did you guys go? And then once he said, like, we went to 7-Eleven to go get a Red Bull.
Yeah. Which we didn't realize.
Everybody
had been
understood.
Literally like, about an hour or more.
But it had been like almost 2 hours or so that we were gone from this party.
Yeah, and you know, gone for 2 hours.
And it's a mini party, so it was like 10 people max.
Yeah.
At all with that's like us included, so we were not there, so it kind of made a difference. It turned out like we just had a really dope conversation and stuff, and long story short, like he did a gentleman thing the next day and like took me home, and I was shocked because Like, it was on his way to work, and like I needed to go home. Like I said, I got in my car accident a month prior, and so I didn't have a car at that time. So I was like, running out of money in my savings account for Ubers all the time.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I'll take you home. And I was like, what do you mean? No, you don't have to. Are
Why
you
you gonna
serious?
pay for Uber? I'm right here.
And long story short,
yes, on my way back to work, she texted me just to thank me for dropping her off. And
polite manners.
so the week before that, I'd gotten a ticket for driving while texting, which don't do that. And anyway, so I decided I had learned my lesson. So instead of replying to the text, I called her, back to reply to her text and said, hey, I got a ticket last week for texting and driving. I don't want to do that again. Is it alright if we talk?
Which I was like, of course, because what millennial like calls people nowadays? You want to call and talk to little old me? And I was like, you're really dope. Then can we just talk then? And then he was like, yeah. And we had it took him an hour to get to work. We had an entire conversation then he got off the phone and went to work. And y'all, a couple of hours later, he called me. It was like 11, 12 o'clock at night again. You're about to get off. Yeah. He called me. Excuse me. I just burped it. We talked to the morning time, like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Time flies. And
we realized he was like, I dig you. Like,
can I just interrupt you? You ever meet someone and then you say to yourself or to that person, where have you been all my life?
Seriously.
It's like we were two hands, a right hand and a left hand. And even though we're complete opposites, we met in the middle and it just worked perfectly, just like that. And so we just clicked on every level. Look at her, she's making a face. So we just hit it off, and basically a year and a half later,
we got married.
And and got 2 chinchillas. Look at all that people. That's crazy. What's up, man? Your treat, though.
Now you've seen our chinchillas. I don't know what that was.
I just heard a noise. Anyway.
I know. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm Shay.
I'm Zay.
And I'm Shay.
Right.
Please like, subscribe. Our staycation video is coming out. It's like a 2 to 3 part video.
Yeah.
So be prepared. Get your popcorn ready.
Yes, that's going to come after this video.
And also, though, if you could think of anything that you want us to do for a subject, let us know. You can hit us up, email, here, down below, or on our Instagram at Married with Chinchillas.
Until next time.
Bye. We love you. Bye, guys. We love you.
Look at that giant pimple on my forehead. Yes.
It is massive like Saturn.